Happy Thursday. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Say hello, say hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí sórí ètò wa yìí. Ṣàlàáfíà lẹ wà. Hi, everybody. We have something important to talk about tonight. You don't want to miss it. Trust me. Hi, everyone. Hello, Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕. Where have you been? You just went AWOL. What's going on in your world? Hello, Mr. Taiwo. How are you? Hi, everyone. Hello, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram family. How's everybody doing? Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let me see who's here. Hello, Peggy. Morano. Let me get my glasses. See, I tried contact sometime, but I'm just not a contact person. Okay. What do you know? and tell my boys, yes. So actually, sister on emoji. I told my boys like, hey, when we go, hello, Ina Josie, how are you? Like, tell people I'm your sister. Don't give me number me she want to. Please leave it alone. I'm on Mobi Moku. I became a mother. I didn't die. In short, that's how we're rolling. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adepola Samuel. Thank you, Mr. Mitokwe. Immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've hello, Mr. Kovina, how are you? If you have an immigration case, if it's a case that we handle, such as VAWA, H-1B petition, marriage, green card, asylum, employment, green card. I've been on a roll, thank you, Jesus, in this past 3 days with employment, H-1Bs, and the last week of October. What else? Citizenship, removal of conditions in your residency. We can help you, people. Call our office. If you are on Facebook and YouTube, you can see it on your screen. For those on TikTok, and thank you, Mr. Mitoko. Those on TikTok and Instagram, our number is 334-341-4475. 334-341-4475. Thank you, Shahari. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Hey, yummy. Niger people. And then moving on because we need to talk. Let's talk about how you can identify issues in your Nigerian decree. Enough is enough. Immigration case. USCIS, the city. Yes, welcome back, Mr. Elijah. I know life is busy. They see Nigerian divorce decree. What do you want, my dad? Yes, I'm Molini. That's what we want to talk about tonight. You can also visit our website, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Please share this video. There are a lot of people who have everything else in their case. Every other ground has been met. But cases are getting denied just like pure water. Pure water. I think so. Just like that, because USCIS claims divorce decree is fake. And you're like, I'll be damned. So let us get proactive and know what it is that they're looking at before you even file. That's the point. That's the goal of this video tonight. So please, anyone you know who's going through that, let them come in, and then we take questions later on. Y'all already know the drill. So once again, if you need to contact our office, 334-341-4475. Let's talk immigration. Okay. If you are filing for any immigration benefit that requires you to prove that you have a qualifying relationship, aka a valid marriage, spousal relationship. For the most part, that is your marriage-based green card application, even an employment-based green card application where you have a spouse who's going to be a derivative beneficiary, or you have a VAWA case. Those cases where you have to show that you have a qualified relationship in order to get the immigration benefit you're seeking, and you have been previously married, and your divorce decree was from Nigeria, right? Regardless of what's going on, we still believe God for it. If that's the case, please hear me loud and clear. If you're street lawyers, I had and this week this is my first full week back at work. And as you can tell, I am getting back to myself. Y'all don't know this. The only thing is I still cannot wear, because I'm 5 foot tall. So I love to wear my heels. And I've seen that today. I had to be in court and I had to stand, but I had to go sit my butt down somewhere, because I stand on the heels and it's putting pressure in my stomach. And that's where my incision sites are. So other than that, I'm good. So I'm fired up tonight. We're going to tackle this issue. So if you have, hello, Mr. Taiwo. If you have, Mr. Taiwo, I think I got your stuff today. Shoot me an email if you don't hear back from me by tomorrow. Charge and bill lawyer, exactly. If you have a divorce decree, now I'm not trying to scare you that you already have your cases. Hello, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒂𝒏𝒕, how are you? That you have your cases pending. But for those who haven't submitted anything yet, please understand, you have a shot at checking and making sure that everything should be the way it should be. So I'm going to give you immigration tips on how to identify what issues may arise from your divorce decree when it has to do with your immigration case. If you can identify those issues from the word go, that helps you. I was in the middle of filing a VAWA petition for a client of mine who's got 5 kids. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, performs everything. I do, and bear with me if you're my client. We're 2 weeks behind now because I was out 2 weeks. Health is more important than anything. Immigration case. So, and that's because even though I have a lawyer that helps me out, sometimes I have OCD. So I have to see it before it leaves my firm. I've got to produce okay, what's going on? What was the final? And that's what happened in this case. I was going through it. My paralegal, I put everything together, and I was going through okay, I know this is a Nigerian divorce case. We have a Nigerian divorce decree in this case. Let me see what's going on. And as soon as I saw that divorce decree, I'm like, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. So I called my client, I can tell you this is from a street lawyer. Now, I'm not saying you got a fake divorce decree. I'm just letting you know they're saying the right thing. So my point is, she has a chance. Now we're still waiting for them to correct it. She has a chance to make sure that we send in the correct thing, rather than just sending it in and then USCIS calls us and says, well, there's some cases that people gave me divorce decrees and it was the SIP number changed, and I told him up front, hey, this is probably going to be an issue. Okay, that's fine. But if you have a chance to be able to prevent that kind of situation, then this is for you. Anyone you know who's going to benefit from this is for them. Call them and tell them to come listen up. Okay, so first things first, if you are going to be the one filing a divorce from your spouse in Nigeria, let me say this. If you're here to start with, then there's no reason for you, and you've fulfilled the residency requirements in the state you're living in the country, in the United States, there's no reason for you not to file your divorce here. A lot of people do not know that they can, so they call, a Balinde lawyer and say, hey, Ogweni, have fun now, that kind of thing. Before you do that, have your options here weighed. If you feel like, okay, or if you started it before you came into the country and it's not final yet, that you want to contact the real lawyer and say, hey, can you make sure the petition is filed correctly, the divorce decree is correct, the decree absolute is correct. If you are the petitioner of the divorce, you must be domiciled in Nigeria, meaning at the time that you filed for that divorce, you must be physically present there. Not when it's pending, but at the time the petition is initiated, the petitioner, either the husband or the wife, must be domiciled in Nigeria. You cannot be a petitioner when you're not in the country. That's one of the red flags that USCIS brings up. And so how would you know if you're the petitioner? It would say petitioner, respondent. And if you are the husband and you are the petitioner, your suit number will have whatever number, ID, LD, / the numbers, and then husband would say HD, wife would say WD, and then / the year. So you cannot have petitioner listed as Mr. Ogbeni, and then it says number WD. WD means wife divorce, wife initiated divorce. If you did not initiate it, or if you did initiate it, there's no reason why it should say WD. Suit number, that's usually one of the very first immigration tips as far as identifying an issue. Okay? Secondly, and let me back up a little bit. I am specifically talking about a civil marriage, statutory marriage, marriage registry, where you went to Ikoyi registry or Ikeja registry, or in a number of states, whatever it is, statutory marriage. That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about Islamic marriage or customary marriage. No, this is specifically for statutory marriage, civil marriage. You went to a registry or you did it in court, but you got your license and your certificate from the registry. The only way that you can, if you're your divorce decree is from Nigeria, the only way that you are able to get a divorce or petition to get a divorce when it comes to a statutory marriage in Nigeria is before a high court. A magistrate court cannot dissolve a statutory marriage. A customary court cannot dissolve a statutory marriage. It has to be before a high court. It does not have to be in the high court of the state you last lived in, or you currently, or the state that you got married in. In Nigeria, and I'm still licensed in Nigeria. I may not be physically present, but I still maintain my license. We do not have a sovereign state kind of system where they have in the United States, where each state has its own procedure for divorce, and then you have to satisfy the requirements for that particular state. No, we have a centralized system in Nigeria. So you don't necessarily have to file your divorce petition in the state that you live in, or take that back. You don't necessarily have to file it in the state that you reside in. You can file it in any state as long as it's before a high court. If you got married in the registry and you file your divorce in a magistrate court, USCIS is going to call your bluff and say that is fake, and it will be fake till Jesus comes back. So that's tip number 2. Number 1 is suit number. The number 1 is, if you're the petitioner, make sure your suit number portion is matching the sex of the petitioner. Husband is petitioner, it would have HD. Wife is petitioner, it would have WD. Number 2, you have physically present when you petition. You cannot be here and someone is getting your divorce for you. It has to be recorded that you actually were domiciled in order to be able to initiate that divorce proceeding. And number 3, the court that has jurisdiction over the solution of a statutory marriage. Statutory marriage is a court marriage, civil marriage, registry marriage. It has to, and it can only be filed before a high court. It doesn't have to be filed in the high court in the state where you got married, because in Nigeria, it's a centralized system. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Now, if you were married to your spouse for less than 2 years, one of the consultations I had today, that's exactly what happened. In Nigeria, if your marriage is less than 2 years, you cannot get divorced without the leave of court. Basically, you cannot get divorced without permission from the court. That is the law in our country. You can't get around. It's right there in the Marriage Act. This lady, unfortunately, her marriage, the date was about 16 months after her marriage. And the decree nisi did not say anything about with permission, applied to the court for permission based on the fact that it's less than 2 years of marriage. And the law says you cannot without the permission of the court, leave of court. Her case was denied. So we're trying to figure out what's the next step. If your marriage is less than 2 years, then you need permission from the court to be able to proceed with a divorce. That's the law. There's no way around it. Okay. All right. Let's see. So domiciled in Nigeria at the time you filed. If it's less than 2 years, you need leave of court, permission of court. Suit number. People. Make sure that your suit number is in accordance with what the Nigerian Marriage Act says it has to be. The HD doesn't come before, the LD, and then the year comes. No. If you have a year starting your suit number, you already know that ain't gonna fly. Leave it alone. That's not gonna work. That's basically what that is. So suit number is a big thing. What does it is your suit number is that in accordance with what it's supposed to look like? And what I'm going to do later on or sometime tomorrow is I will there are a lot of examples, but I will redact information from one that I have and put it on my page so that I think Carla may have one. I email her later and see if she can put it on the page so that you would see exactly what an authentic and genuine divorce decree should look like. Decree nisi, decree absolute. Okay. Now, another immigration tip, and that causes a lot of red flags. There is only one ground. There is only one ground for dissolution of a statutory marriage in Nigeria. And that ground is irretrievable breakdown of marriage. Irreconcilable differences, I see that a lot. That is usually what is used in a customary marriage. There's no requirement to get a customary marriage divorce decree, but whenever people do that, that's usually the wording in that. As far as a statutory marriage, when you say on the ground of irreconcilable differences, that is a red flag. There's only one ground. It's irretrievable breakdown of marriage. And then you are now required to go a step further and give the court, state the facts by which that marriage is now, the grounds on which that marriage has broken down irretrievably. Examples, that the person has refused to consummate marriage, as in 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Listen. One of the reasons you get married is to have sex, right? I mean, children don't fall from heaven. Nobody, I don't have any other story of, besides Virgin Mary. That's only one Virgin Mary. So we all know every one of us here came somehow to the same method, right? So if your partner refuses to consummate the marriage, meaning they refuse to have sex with you, that explains why it has broken down irretrievably. If the person commits infidelity, adultery, domestic violence, the ground is not infidelity. The ground itself is the irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. Why has it now broken down irretrievably? Because there was cheating, because there was no consummation, because there was domestic violence. Those are now stating the facts that led to the irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. Big difference. That's an immigration tip for you, so you know. I know a lot of you are going to go back and look at your divorce decrees and say, this is lawyer. That's not the point. The point is for you to know. The more you know, knowledge is power. Okay, so only one ground for a statutory marriage, and then you can explain why the facts that led to, you have to explain the facts that led to that ground. Okay, signature. Who is the one authorized to sign your decrees in that particular high court? Am I like with signature street lawyer? Can you, assistant chief registrar, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 or something, right? And you're wondering, okay, why did USCIS deny my case? Because nobody knows who the heck that person is. Well, go to query. It's got to be the person who's got authority to sign off on your decree nisi and the decree absolute. It's very important. Now, venue. Okay, I've talked about venue, which is the high court. It's got to be filed before the high court. Who files establishing residency? Another immigration tip as far as making sure that your decree nisi absolute is what conforms with what. So if you go on the U.S. Department of State website, look for the reciprocity schedule. Reciprocity schedule has all the documents listed by country and what USCIS uses to determine whether or not that is what they should expect as far as that particular document. Then they go a step further. They have examples of what a regular conforming decree nisi, decree absolute should look like. So the more you know, people, just don't sit back and say, you can't blame your lawyer because I hear that a lot. Well, my lawyer should have looked at it and seen that it was a fake decree. First of all, many of us who do immigration practice, we are from different countries. Many immigrants, many immigration lawyers are also immigrants themselves. I cannot figure out but I have no clue what I'm looking for in a divorce decree of someone who is Italian. I don't. I should research and make sure that, okay, but you also should make sure from day one that you have an authentic document. And so you need to be proactive in your own, it's about your life. It's not about the lawyer's life, right? So that's that. Let's see. We've talked about 2 years. Suit number, grounds versus facts. Facts are not ground. Ground is one ground, and then facts have to be linked because you have to state what facts led to that. Children, if you get divorced and you and your spouse have minor children between you, the law is the minor children have to be provided and listed in your decree nisi. They've got to be listed as far as who is going to get custody, what is going to be the upkeep of the children, and you're going to share custody and everybody takes care of them. Does the petitioner get custody? Do they live with the respondent? You cannot have minor children and they're not listed in the decree nisi. It is part of the Nigerian law. They have to be. And you cannot list one child's name without listing another. If they're minor children, the law says that custody issue must be addressed in the divorce. Okay. And another thing, the time between when your decree nisi was issued and the decree absolute was issued has to be exactly 90 days. They take into consideration holidays, but it's got to be 90 days. You cannot have a decree absolute entered on day 61 after decree nisi. That just isn't going to fly because that's not what the law is in Nigeria. So just to recap, if you have a decree nisi from Nigeria, the divorce decree from Nigeria, and you are about to submit that, you have already submitted that, you're trying to figure out, what is it authentic? What am I supposed to look at? What are the issues that USCIS usually brings up? Now, let me tell you guys something. These folks are not people who studied geography or other people's countries. No. They go by policy. They give them, this is what you check. If it doesn't conform, then you can deny or request evidence. And a perfect example, we got an RFE. A client had done the work themselves. They got a notice of intent to deny, and they hired my firm. One of the things USCIS talked about was the fact that they could not find, and that's another thing, recordation, and I'll get to that. They could not find the divorce itself online when they searched the Lagos State Judiciary website. The problem in this case, however, which when I responded, y'all don't even know me, I'm telling you, I literally printed out the map of Nigeria, printed the map and circled the state that the Creacy actually came from, and circled Lagos State, and so that they could see that it's different state. USCIS came back and said they searched the Lagos Judiciary website and they could not find my client's divorce petition registered. The problem with that is it wasn't filed in Lagos State. The divorce was filed in a number of states. So there's no how you're going to find a divorce decree or divorce petition filed in a number of states in Lagos State Judiciary website. They don't necessarily know what the heck you're doing. So sometimes you got to call their bluff on it. But before you call their bluff, you have to know that you know what you're talking about. Okay. So just know that if you have all of this, or these are things that you have to check. This is not optional. These are things that are in and must be in your decree, and especially making sure that your NICE is 90 days. Your absolute is 90 days from NICE. It's not 30 days. It's not 2 days. It's not 150 days. 90 days. It becomes absolute. Recordation. It's been 50-50. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've made the argument that there are some cases that it's our system. We're not, I should be on a third world country. I mean, there's a reason you call us third world. We're not expert. We're not that tech. So, really tech like you guys are here. So why would you expect that every single case is going to be recorded by now? That's just the truth. But that argument has worked half of the time and hasn't worked half of the time, in the sense of when I make an argument and respond and say, hey, it's still a new system where everything is not going to be recorded because we never used to do that. It's still new in Lagos State. But for the most part, if your divorce, for instance, is a recent one, say 2018, 2019, you cannot really get away with that argument. It should already be recorded. So, people, the best thing you can do is, first and foremost, do not call street lawyer. Lawyers are expensive. I know. I should know. However, it costs you more than what you would have paid a lawyer to start with when you're having to now clean up the mess that somebody made. It costs you a whole lot more. And you've got to be careful. And just like today, one of the conversations I had, this guy was told that this person is an immigration attorney. Come to find out he's not. Literally submitted a fake and fraudulent psychological evaluation for this guy as part of his VAWA file. Made up a name. Actually, it wouldn't make up the real name of the person, but the therapist is practicing in another completely different state. You've got to know that, and paid him a lot of money. Now he's paying me a whole lot of money to clean up that mess that we don't even know if it's going to work or not. So the more you know, get it done right the first time. That's all she wrote. Okay. Let's go to questions. Okay. Mr. Kovina, you're welcome. Hello, Miss Peggy. How are you? How was your day? Hello, JD14 from Miami. How are you? Jude Success. Can you use customary court if it was a traditional marriage? Generally, yes. I can't speak to your case, but generally, yes. Mr. Jafar, is it possible for my apartment landlord to give a letter which says I'm living with him for proof of bill to show that I am a spouse living with him? It is possible generally. Okay. All right. Not a lot of people questions on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Let me go to, hold on. I want to cross this out. All right. Okay. See, I was really, I was really into it. I even forgot to put the banner of the topic on the screen, but there it is. Immigration tips and identifying the issues in your divorce decree. All righty, let's go to TikTok. Let's see. Casey Marcus, how long does it take to get citizenship approval, depending on the field office? And you can go to USCIS.gov/person times. It would give you the time frame they're working with. Are you based in Alabama? Yes, my office is physically located in Alabama, but I represent immigration clients in any state because immigration is federal practice. So as long as an attorney is licensed in a state, they're able to Jude Success. I thought I just saw you on Facebook. What? Now you're on Instagram? Like, yo. Okay. If an attorney is licensed in one state, they're able to represent you in your immigration cases, regardless of the state they're licensed in. So in my case, I have licenses in the state of Alabama and the state of New York. So based on that, I can represent immigration clients, not just in New York and Alabama, but in any state. Okay, let's see. How long to get a work permit after application? We submitted a child care. This child care healthcare thing is really working, people. If you qualify for that, you need to contact USCIS. Because we submitted, today is Thursday, right? We submitted someone who has a pending green card application and it's employment based, and they really need her to start in the school. And we submitted an expedited request. Actually, I called them on Friday and told them, hey, if you guys need many USCIS, if you need us to send you proof that we need, it's of emergency urgent need, we can. And then on Tuesday, they sent me an email saying, yeah, send us a proof of what you told us on Friday. And I called my clients, like, hey, y'all need to put this together for me, send it to me, sent it back to them the same Tuesday. And yesterday, Wednesday, they approved the expedited request for her EAD. So it actually works if you call them. But other than that, it's taking anywhere from the fastest I think I've had is 60 days. And I just got one that was filed. Miss Pam's case was filed last year, but that's a whole testimony by itself. But as far as the longest one besides hers, I think that was back in January 30. Yeah, so about 10 months? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I think I just answered your question at Ashabi Atinuke. Yeah, customer service 575. Even after getting an additional divorce here in the US, they still make a big deal out of it. Like, so did you know that was fraudulent? Listen, welcome to Nigeria. What's happening with I-751 interviews? They're waiving interviews. They are scheduling. It just depends on how strong your case is. Why is K1 visa taking so long? I don't know. Tell me, why can a student on a F1 visa get a green card if you have a grant you're eligible for? How can I get in touch with you? Number is 334-341-4475. Website is 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. User Jamaica Brooks. We're located in Alabama, but I represent immigration clients in any state. "95% of high court in Nigeria has no electronic record," and that's absolutely right. I think really I've only seen it in Abuja and Lagos State. So in this, y'all, and I told my client, like, she goes, "Wow, that's explosive. Like, you think they're gonna get angry with what you wrote? Like, listen, sometimes you gotta take a chance." And I don't like it's once you get your case, because I send my clients, once we send your case out, you'll get an electronic copy of your file. It's just standard practice in my firm. And so when she goes, "You think it's gonna make them angry?" I literally sent them a map of Nigeria and highlighted and circled, like, how are you gonna find a divorce decree from a Anambra State on Lagos State Judiciary website? Like, do y'all even understand that you just said a Anambra State and you want to find a Lagos State? I mean, come on, people. I know I can't go take my sense on you, okay? So, I mean, I have to let them understand that, well, you need to go back to school. You need to be exposed and know exactly that Nigeria is not, Lagos is not a Anambra State. Anambra State is not Lagos State. Like, anyway, I digress. And I put in there, like, Nigeria has 36 states and the federal capital. Like, here's where a number is. That's Lagos. So how? And then a number doesn't even have, to your statement, a number doesn't have electronic recordation. They still use typewriter for real. So how you gonna find it anywhere on the website? But we'll see. I told her, like, listen, it is what it is, and Lord Jesus, let us come back and testify that yes, it was approved. That will like, oh Lord, gotta call them their bluff sometimes. I mean, hey, listen, it is what it is. Okay, let's see. Instagram folks, I'm gonna get to you guys. Give me 1 second. I filed 290B application, still pending. I need your help because I'm confused. So we can set up a consultation for you. I do not offer free consultations. No, I don't. But what I do is, if you retain my services within 15 days from the date of the consultation, you get a credit towards the total legal fees. And the same thing for you, hours of grace. My office is open 8:30 to 5. I have people who work after hours for me. So if you call my office at any time, thank you, Ms. Shohini, there will be someone to pick up, maybe not on Sunday, but there will be someone because we have after hours. Yeah. Lord knows. Sometimes I'm like, I'll be so lucky you everywhere. Because I just took on another title with the state of Alabama. So I now the regional attorney for, I love to defend people. That's just my nature. So I'm the regional attorney for my area, like it's the circuit for on low income clients. And so legal services. Now I'm the regional attorney for that area. Like, oh Lord. But I thank God. Just it's a blessing to do what you love. And y'all have to understand, let me digress a little bit, that there was a point in my life that I did not see this happening today where I am, where God has brought me to, not by any power of my own. And that's because for 10 solid years, I was a stay-at-home mom. Like, law degree was on the back burner. My ex-father-in-law told me then that your law degree is just a waste of time. Your priority is your marriage. Yeah. Let's just leave that alone. But I knew I can never forget the day that it was like having an epiphany. And that's why I try to encourage people every time. There are a lot of people that are going to be in your ears that why did you mark paras in school? You already have kids. What do you, my ex-husband is a physician. He owns his own clinic. And people are like, why would you, I mean, you're set for life. Well, and I'm thinking, there's just some things money cannot buy. There's just some things that when you feel like you're empty, because you know that there's something within you that God has given each and every one of us a gift. And when you become so restless that you know that there's a fire burning in you, that you just don't know what the way forward is. And in my journey, part of my way forward was having to file for divorce. And I mean, we don't get divorced in Nigeria, y'all know, but it was a reason. My mother didn't talk to me for years, so it was like, okay. But I had that epiphany, and it was so clear in my head that I needed to go back to law school. And the funny thing is, it's not funny thing, but I don't believe in coincidence. I believe God has a plan. When I went back to the Mississippi College School of Law to get my Master's of Law degree, that year was the very first year in the whole of in their entire history of doing master's program that they offered immigration law. The very first time in the history of the law school, the year that I went to from master's was the first year they offered immigration law. That was a confirmation I needed, because I had spoken to God when I was in Massachusetts that this is my path. I don't know how it's going to work out, but you're going to do it. And when I found out, when they gave us the course syllabus, and I was like, I'll be damned. And then they put, this is the first time we're going to try this out. It was like God saying, yes. It was like, okay, I hear you, God. And then on the day that I graduated with my master's degree, when I tell you, people, I have no other power but God. I have no other way, because son of me, my mother raised me in a Christian home. That woman is when you have a praying woman and they instill that in you, you don't have any, lagbar on me. On the day of my graduation, the devil tried again and thought I was going to die. The day of graduation, on the way to graduation, my car was totaled. I was rear-ended, and my car was totaled and crashed into an 18-wheeler in front of me. 18-wheeler. My car was completely totaled. And I walked out of that vehicle with just a burn from the airbag. The lady who rear-ended me, they literally had to cut her car, Joseph like long bill, cut her car open to get her out. I walked away from that. And then you tell me there's no God. Until the day I take my last breath, you cannot convince me otherwise that there is a God. There is a God. There is a God. Anyway, I digress. So I don't have free consultations. We can help you. 334-341-4475. Consultation is 30 minutes, 245 minutes to 31 hour. If you retain my services, you get that credited towards your total fees. Okay. Why do some VAW cases get approved in 3 months, 6 months, and some takes years? Most of the time, it's because they're taking advantage of an earlier priority date. That means that they've been the beneficiary of an I-130 that hasn't filed for them. Say, for instance, someone had an I-130 with a priority date of 2018, and you're filing VAW now. So that means that it's going to bump you up and it look like you filed your VAW case back in 2018. And obviously, they're working on cases way past 2018. So they would have to adjudicate your case because your priority date will be current at that time. Hope that makes sense. Thank you. Okay, let me go to Instagram. Oh. Y'all, when I tell you some of the things of my mom, listen, I'm the walking testimony. I'm a walking testimony. Thank you. God has been faithful. God has been faithful. God has been faithful. God has been faithful. Million Professor. Between work and gym, we have to feed and healthy. Listen. Just like I posted this morning. When I tell my boys, I'm like, you don't look like a mommy. Like, look like, and then tell me my hair is highlights. Like, tabati just tell them I'm your sister because I ain't doing no number me wanta. I had kids, I didn't die. So please, this is when I'm even kicking it into gear. Like, okay, let's go. Nibo, no, we're in. Tunes Bobo, now picking I get, I didn't kill anybody. Exactly. To your long. Banyo, abimo, let yourself go. Why? Why? Just 44. No, still I have a whole lot of life in front of me. We're going to be rocking it till Jesus comes back me. Okay. Something important to share with me. Okay, Mr. Bayami. Email me. Is customary divorce allowed? If you got married, and what we call engagement is customary marriage. So if that's what you did, there is no requirement for you to present a customary court divorce. An affidavit is fine from an elder saying the bride price was returned. There is no requirement of any documentation, but a lot of people do that, and that's fine. But you cannot use a customary court divorce as evidence of dissolution of a statutory marriage, just so you know. Jude Sock says, at what point of marriage can you use a customary court for divorce? That's what I just explained. Okay, let's see. Akambio Lusoye, if USCIS discovers that the divorce decree submitted is fake, does it, or I wouldn't say fake, but if they decide it doesn't comply, does it invalidate the marriage to U.S. citizen? Yes, basically it does. And that's usually why they deny the cases, because they will claim that you did not have a qualifying relationship based on the fact that your evidence of termination, legal termination of all previous marriages was not sufficient. So, okay. I just jumped. Wait, someone tried to. Let me see if I can. Hey, Miss Medina, how are you? I'm still waiting to hear from you about the person we talked about. I'm still waiting to hear from you. Okay. Oh, sorry, people. All right, so I'm backward. Okay. If you're already married in the U.S., can you still file for divorce from here after you were legally married from the state here because your divorce from Nigeria was vague? If your divorce is if proof of your legal termination of your previous marriage is not sufficient and deemed invalid, then you would have to do a new divorce. And depending on if you live in a common law state, you don't necessarily have to get divorced from your current marriage as long as you're still carrying on as husband and wife after the new divorce from your ex-spouse. I know I probably confuse everybody, but that's the best way I can explain that. If your divorce decree is on High Court's website and verifiable, is that an indication that your divorce decree is good and okay? It's not. As long as and I'm going to put the video up so you can replay if you want. As long as what we talked about is contained in it, you can't say, seeking divorce on the grounds of, let's see, refusing to eat my amala. You can, you can put that because that's on the ground, even if it's on the website. Okay. My friend divorce decree was said to be furthered by when people say friend, by the USCIS, but it was issued by the wife. Please, can he still do the proper divorce here since he's the one who was issued by his ex-wife was fake? Yes, your friend. Your friend needs to set up a consultation to discuss his case. Do Canadians need a specific visa to enter the US or just status through marriage? There's no specific visa, but Canadians have visa waivers depending on the kind of visa you're applying for. After prima facie determination, when do you get your EAD? Prima facie has nothing to do with timing of EAD. Can you apply for that if you just married for 3 months to your spouse? It doesn't length of time to be married as long as you can satisfy the requirements of the VA case. Hello, Epic Movement. How are you? Hello, Shion Boba. I haven't seen a few of my people in a while. Okay. Hello, Miss Medina. How are you? Let me know. Thank you. I'm feeling much better. Much, much better. Like I went to court today and everybody was shocked to see me in court. Like, did you not just have surgery 2 weeks ago? Like, okay. Like y'all don't get tired of just laying in bed. Sometimes I think I'm too feisty for myself. Like I'm just not one to be in this. And I told God, like, it's 34 weeks. Don't make shit. I can't do 4 weeks and just now. If I had to, obviously I don't have any choice. But I thank God for speedy recovery. Really, because like I got too much to get done. First of all, I'm a mama, and thank God for my oldest kid. My kid literally went to research the kind of surgery I had so that he's able to know if I'm whatever the side effects may be, the recovery time frame, and what he needs to do. Thank you, Jesus, for this kind of kid. He's going to be 18 in December. And I was telling him about something. And he goes, yeah, I read up on it. That's expected. And I'm like, how many kids would do that? Like thank you, Jesus. So everyone around me, just good spirit and looking out for you, including ex-husband, made it really, really, and my mama came down. So thank God for. Have you ever seen a situation where PFD was issued but not sent out to the petitioner or was not received by the petitioner? I have, and you keep contacting them. I have a case that I'm actually emailing the Vermont Service Center tomorrow or later tonight. I just usually tell them to please email me a copy of it. We didn't receive it, or we do a FOIA request and we see that they checked it out as okay, initial review, PFD approved, but then the client never got it. And I'm like, okay, send me a copy. So that's what you would have to do. Okay. Let's see. What a mighty God we serve, I tell you. Timmy Kills, thank you. Okay. Jaru for lie. Did you say 44? Yes, I'm 44. How many days we need to get your EAP? Okay. I'm in Texas. A lawyer says she wants a divorce from America and not from Nigeria. Does it invalidate my initial marriage? Please explain better, and can I file for that in 3 months of marriage? Jude Success, you've emailed me, you've texted me, you've put a lot on, and I've emailed you back several times that you would have to set up a consultation to discuss your case. It does. My answer is not going to change. Your case is very specific. You need to sit down with a lawyer and have that consultation rather than try to get, bits of information from everybody and confuse yourself. You need to be proactive about your case and actually know what the specific answers will be to your own case. Well, malicious. I'm telling you, don't let nobody tell you anything. Don't let them discourage you about your we all have one of those friends, I tell you. How do you bring your fiance from Africa? If you're a citizen, you can file a fiance visa. Do you help in long-awaiting immigration process? I hardly do that anymore because most of the requests we make to NVC, unless it's humanitarian grounds, urgent medical grounds, it hardly gets approved. I know I have contacted you twice, but I was still holding back. Now my husband accept you. Okay. I can't recognize your username, but thank you. Okay. All right, people. Ultimate ABD. How long does it take USCIS to reply, resend, reply notice for newly submitted VAT cases? I have quite a bit of it here that we just got this today. That so I have a system where it's scanned, because I need to know, once I get the alert on my email, I need to know whose cases it is. So we have a system where the name, 3 letters, so we put that in and then we send it to the clients. This lady's going to be so happy because hers. So this was filed. Let me use this as an example. We submitted this. Now, this is pretty fast. This is pretty fast. So I would not necessarily go with this one. And that's because we submitted this case back on October 15. And the notice date is October 28. The date, October 15, October 17 is the notice date. Why did they take them two things? However, we received this week. Why did we receive it this week? Oh, because I was out. Like, yeah. So practically this is October 17. 2 weeks? Probably less time because they held my mail 2 weeks. But then again, I have some cases that we converted from a regular marriage case to a VAR case. And I have one that was submitted in August. We don't have a receipt notice yet. I don't worry until it's about 3 months. So yeah, we're getting close to that. But newly submitted VAR cases, I'm seeing that we're getting those receipt notices pretty fast. But anyway, all right, people. Let me just circle back around to Veronica. I just received my work permit, but not the travel permit. Is it this normal process? I had a VAR case. I always enjoy. Thank you. So did you file together? Did you file the AP and the EAD together? If you did, sometimes they will separate that, and that makes, just to get your work permit to you faster, and your travel document will just come in later on. Mr. Dosumu, that would be a civil marriage. Okay. Deborah Gibson, happy free thinking as he deserves. You're appreciated. Thank you. Appreciate that. But thank God, in all things we give thanks. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for always tuning in and always keeping me company. I do appreciate it every single time. Hello, Mr. West. How's my boy doing? Good to see you. Thanks for always supporting. Submitted my VAR case in late March. Yet to get my receipt notice. Oh no. That is a whole different. That one is different. That's different. You may want to contact them. But once again, if we can help you with your immigration case, our number is 334-341-4475. We can send an email to info@olalayalawfirm.com, and we will be glad to help you out in your immigration case. He's in school now. Oh, it's a great thing. Thank God. You have no idea how happy I am that he's finally able to start school. Oh my God. Oh, that's the best news today. Thank you, Miss Gibson. That is the best news, Mr. West. Tell him I said hello. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys